Gita chapter 2 text 27. Jatasya hi dhruvo mrityu dhruvam janma mritasya cha tasmat apariharirite natvam sochitam arhasi. Jatasya, of one who has taken his birth, he certainly dhruva, a fact, mrityu, death, dhruvam, it is also a fact, janma, birth, mritasya, of the dead, cha, also, tasma, therefore, apariharye, of that which is unavoidable, arte, in the matter, na, do not, tvam, you, sochitam, to lament, arhasi, deserve. Translation purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki. Translation: one who has taken his birth is sure to die, and after death, one is sure to take birth again. Therefore, in the unavoidable discharge of your duty, you should not lament. Please repeat. One who has taken his birth is sure to die, and after death, one is sure to take birth again. Therefore, in the unavoidable discharge of your duty, you should not lament. Purport. One who has to take birth according to one's activities of life, and after finishing one term of activities, one has to die to take birth for the next. In this way, one is going through the cycle of birth and death after another without liberation. This cycle of birth and death does not, however, support unnecessary murder, slaughter, and war. But at the same time, violence and war are inevitable factors in human society for keeping law and order. The battle of Kurukshetra, being the will of the Supreme, was an inevitable event, and to fight for the right cause, it is the duty of a Kshatriya. Why should Arjuna be afraid of or aggrieved at the death of his relatives, since he was discharging his proper duty? He did not deserve to break the law, thereby becoming subjected to the reactions of sinful acts of which he was so afraid. By avoiding the discharge of his proper duty, he would not be able to stop death of his relatives, and he would be degraded due to his selection of the wrong path of action. So now we are going to discussing the second chapter of the Gita. The first chapter of Gita is called Arjuna Vishada Yoga. So Vishada means dejection. Arjuna is feeling dejected in the first chapter of Gita after meeting all his relatives and friends in the battlefield, his grandfather, his teacher. He was feeling so much of grief that he could not even hold his Gandiva. His Gandiva is the most powerful weapon given to him by Agni, right? Agnidev. So Arjuna was such a powerful warrior, as we know, before even this Mahabharata war started, in the battlefield of the Virat, when the Pandavas were exiled and they were in disguise, Arjuna defeated the entire Kaurava army by himself, with Bhishma Dev and Dronacharya there also. He was a eunuch because he was cursed by Urvasi. So 1 year he was, disguised as a eunuch. But still, he was so powerful. Doesn't matter what he was, right? Yeah, his power is unmatched. And also, if you look at the Gita, Mahabharata, there's also a time where he fought these asuras called the Nivata Kavachas. These Nivata Kavachas, I think they are 60,000 in number. Very powerful asuras. Even the Devatas could not handle them. So Arjuna told Indra, his father, I will go and finish them. And he went alone and he took Matali. Matali is the chariot driver of Indra. So he went with Matali and he finished off 40,000 like that. No problem. He had all the celestial weapon. Even he faced Lord Shiva in battle also. So such a warrior was Arjuna. Here, when he comes to the battlefield of Kurukshetra, he's trembling in fear. Do you think he's really afraid to fight? Yeah? No, right? So the fear is coming because now the people he's fighting are his relatives now. So automatically there is an attachment. So Krishna, if you look at the Bhagavatam, I forgot here, command for is it? Uh, भयं द्वितीयाभिनिविशेत् निविशेतः स्यात् ईशात् अपेतस्य विपर्ययो स्मृति तन्माययो यतो बुद्ध अभजेत्तं भक्तेकेषां गुरुदेवतात्मा. So why fear comes? Fear arises when the living entity misidentifies himself as the material body. So this is why we are in fear. When you do not know who you are, you do not know your identity, immediately you get fear because now you think I am this body. Anything that comes in relation to this body, fear comes. Fear comes when I lose something, right? Everybody, even though now we are having some bank balance, job, security, house, somewhere in the heart there is some fear. What if I lose that job, right? What if I lose all my money, right? So that fear cannot be taken away because now we are absorbed in thinking we are this body. How many of you all think that we are this body? This existence is all in all. Huh? Everybody knows your soul. Wow. Self-realize. There's a story in the Panchatantra, right? In Panchatantra, there's a story of pigeons. These pigeons were in the forest, many of them, right? They were eating birds. In the morning, they start finding food. So there was a hunter who came and caught these pigeons. You know how he caught them? He made a trap. He put all these grains everywhere. And below the grains is a net. The hunter has a trap. So the pigeons will start eating the grains and he will pull the net and all of them will get caught. So like that, every day he was catching many pigeons. So then the pigeons all had a meeting. Said, many of our brothers are dying now. We should be safe. We should do something about this. This hunter is up to no good and he's killing all of us, right? So let's have a plan. All of us will chant this mantra. What is the mantra? Hunter is coming. He's laying the net. He's putting the grains. Don't go to the net. Something like that. So everybody learned this mantra. So they were all waiting in the tree. And then next day, hunter came. They saw him putting the net. They saw him putting the grain, and everybody started chanting this mantra. Hunter is here. He has laid the net. He has laid the grains. Don't come. So like that, they were alert. And for many days and weeks, no pigeon was caught. Then hunter was feeling a bit depressed now. Now what he is going to do? His livelihood is in trouble, right? Then one day, what happened? There is this pigeon who was greedy. He decided, never mind, I will still go and take. Somehow I'll take and escape. Then he went. One or two pigeons, they went inside the net. Actually, not one or two. Few groups, three of these pigeons went. And then everybody started chanting this. Hunter is coming. Don't go. He's laying the net. He's laying the grains. Don't go. Everybody started chanting. These pigeons, group of them, went there and they got caught. And after they got caught, what they are telling in the net? Hunter is coming. Hunter is laying the net. Don't go. You know who said that? The pigeons who were caught in the net were chanting this mantra. You understand? That means the pigeons, they did not understand what the mantra means also. The mantra is to help them not get caught. And while they got caught, they are chanting this mantra. Don't go to the net. Don't go to and you are in the net. Similarly, we take spiritual life like that. We will, anybody tell us, are you the body? No, I am soul. Then after that, you'll do all the things related to the body only. Nothing to do with soul. Like the pigeon, exactly. Right? I am not body, Prabhu. I am soul. Anytime death will come. But what is the activities of the soul? We don't even bother. This is ignorance. So now it said in this verse that the fear arises, number one, because when we think now we are the body and anything related to this body is taken away, we feel fearful. Right? So that is why they say death is the sum total of all fear. Because at the time of death, because you see, let's say we live for 100 years, okay? Throughout this 100 years, we have experienced many times, many things. Sometimes, right? I think I told this before. You lose your money, you experience that. You have lost your job. The hurt that comes when you lose something, right? You lose your wife, huh? Lose your hair also, right? Everything get lost one by one, and after you lose something, you at first you will feel depressed for a while. After that, you get used to it. You said, that is life. Life, life is anyway like that. Just go on, right? But the time of death comes that we are not prepared for, because at the time of death, everything that we have accumulated, one go is finished. Correct? Then how much fearful that is, because here you put so much effort building this sand castle, and then the ocean waves just come and destroys it, right? So the number one thing to understand, this ignorance, this fear arises when there is ignorance, avidya means to think that I am this, but I am not this. I'm actually Jivere Swarupa Hoy Krishna Re Nityadas. I'm actually a soul, part and parcel of Krishna. Right? So when you come to the temple, what our activities are here is to remind you, you are not the body, you are the soul. We'll teach you how to act as the soul, how to detach from this fear. Right? So he says here, the fear, when you misidentify the body because of absorption in the external illusionary energy of the Lord. So when we are covered by Maya, we think this is my body, my friend, my family, right? My children. Everything becomes very dear. So here Arjuna is an illusion, because the people he's calling my friends and family, they were trying to kill him. Right? They were trying to destroy the Pandavas from young age. From the Pandavas came from the forest, right? After the father passed away, and Duryodhana and brothers were always plotting to kill. Correct? How come he's attached to someone who's going to kill him all the time? That is how deep the Maya goes. Of course, Arjuna is not in Maya. Temporarily, he was put in Maya so that we can understand the Gita. So it says here, when the living entity turns away from the Supreme Lord, he also forgets his own constitutional position as the servant of the Lord. So what happens when we turn away? Two things happen. One is you think that I am the body. Two, you do not realize that you are actually a servant of Krishna. You're a servant of the Supreme Lord. Right? And because of this ignorance, you are living in so much of fear. Right? So that's why Krishna is telling today, anyway, death will come. The body has to die. Why are you fearing this? Right? Do your duty. This is the Dharma. What is the duty? Our duty is Sanatan Dharma, is to serve the Supreme Lord. Save Kumsho Bharat Dharma Yator Bhaktir Adokshate. To develop bhakti for the Lord, that is our real Dharma. Right? So now let's continue this verse. So two things happen, like I said. When you forget who you are and you forget that you are part and parcel of Krishna, you have fear. This bewildering, fearful condition is affected by the potency of illusion called Maya. Therefore, an intelligent person should engage unflinchingly in the unalloyed devotional service of the Lord under the guidance of the spiritual master, whom he should accept as his worshipable deity and his life and soul. So the Guru is there to help us understand this point, who we are. Who we are, what is the purpose of life, what am I supposed to do, right? So this is how Arjuna's situation was. So let's go back to the verse. So Krishna says to Arjuna, one who has taken his birth is sure to die, and after that, one is sure to take birth again. Therefore, in the unavoidable discharge of your duty, you should not lament. So everybody knows, right, that we will die. Everybody is sure about this. Of course, when I was young, I think many of us also, when we were young, we were thinking that we will not die, right? Actually, it's true. You never die. Why there is always a feeling that you will never die? Because you are not supposed to die. Your body will die. You are in a position where you are covered by this body. You see this verse. जन्माध्यसा इमे भावा दृष्ट देहस्य नात्मना पालनम इव वृक्षस्य कालेनेश्वरमूर्तिना. See this thing? Just as the fruits and flowers of the tree in due course of time undergo 6 changes, right? Birth, existence, growth, transformation, dwindling, and then death. The material body, which is obtained by the spirit soul under different circumstances, undergo similar changes. However, there is no such change for the spirit soul. So everything here in the material world will go through 6 changes. What are the 6 changes? It takes birth, it exists, it grows, it transforms, it dwindles, and then it dies. Anything that you see in the material world, right? But we, as the spirit soul, don't have this. We are eternal. Why? Because we are part and parcel of that supreme eternal. Right? We are all spirits, spirit soul, spiritual spark of Krishna. Just like God cannot die, we also cannot die. But right now we are in a temporary, unnatural situation where we have to die. You know, and the miseries that we go through. It's like, if you go to this this verse here. So this is what happens in the material world, right? So everyone has this experience. In this material world, which advances like a river that carries away the living entity, all people become friends, relatives, and enemies in due course of time. They also act neutrally, they mediate, they despise one another, and they act in many other relationships. Nonetheless, despite these various transactions, no one is permanently related. We think now all our relatives are going to be there forever, my friends. Sometimes this person is your best friend, next day they are your worst enemy, right? So why? Because this is a temporary material world which goes through the 6 changes, right? Transformation. Nothing is permanent, right? If you see even the next verse, Yata vastuni panyani hemadini tatastata paryatani nareshu evam jivo yoneshtu kartasu. Just as gold and other commodities are continually transferred from one place to another in due course of purchase and sale, so the living entity, as a result of his fruitive activities, wanders throughout the entire universe. Fruitive activities here means karma. So we are wandering throughout this universe, being injected into various bodies in different species of life by one kind of father and another. So based on the desires we have, we get a certain father and a mother. Krishna is in the heart. He's observing the desires that we have accumulated. He gives us that next body. So like that, we are wasting our time. And in this body, we also commit many sinful activities, right? When you go against the scriptures, like when you go against the law of the government, what happens? You become a criminal. So when you go against the law of God, you become sinful. And then you also have to go through the reactions of your sinful activities. Like the 4 sinful activities we try to avoid: meat eating, intoxication, gambling, illicit sex. So these 4 things will accumulate sinful reactions for us to take birth again and again. Right? So it's very dangerous. Even you may be born as Lionel Messi, right? You may be the best football player in the world, but that is also temporary. This life, you get so many people praising you, so many people idolizing you, but after that, when your good karma is finished, so birth, you must understand, birth and death continuously occurs because of this thing called karma. Because I have karma to exhaust. If I have 0 karma, then there is complete liberation, right? So when I commit bad karma, I have to go down to the lower planetary systems. When I commit good karma, I go to the heavenly planets, right? After enjoying that, again I come down on the earthly planet. I'm actually in the field of place where I'm creating activities which will create more and more karma. So basically, this birth and death continuously occurs until this karma is completely burnt. You know, so that is why we need to come to the process of spiritual life. Okay, so before we get to that point, we'll see the next verse. How temporary the life is in this material world. A few living entities are born in human species, and others are born as animals. So if you have bad karma, you'll take birth in animal body. You know, although both are living entities, their relationships are impermanent. An animal may remain in the custody of a human being for some time, and then the same animal may be transferred to the possession of other human beings. As soon as the animal goes away, the former proprietor no longer has a sense of ownership. As long as the animal is in his possession, he certainly has an affinity for it. But as soon as animal is sold, the affinity is lost. So this is what happened. Now we are very close with this family. This is my father, mother, everything. Next life, we don't see them again. This is my wife. Finish. Right? Then you again create new relationships, new karma. So it's honestly, if you analyze this, it's very painful. Who wants to go through this again and again? Especially the pain of childbirth is very painful. When you're cooped up in the womb, so squeezed up, it says that if you stay in that same situation now, you will die within a few seconds, because that's how tight the situation is, right? So any intelligent human being will inquire how I can stop this, how I can come out of this. That is why Krishna spoke the Gita, to give us this knowledge. Because whatever knowledge we have now, it is based on two things, right? You know what we are getting our knowledge from? We are getting our knowledge from our experiences. And our experiences are mostly coming from our mind and senses, which is material. So our experiences and our knowledge is limited because it is conditioned by the material nature. So this is called, there's two ways we can gain knowledge. One is pratyaksha praman, one is anuman. Pratyaksha praman means using my senses, like my eyes to see, I get knowledge. My nose to smell. So when the senses acts with the sense object, I am gaining knowledge of that, what I'm observing. But the point of pratyaksha can only occur in the present. I cannot see what happened in the past. I cannot see what's going to happen in the future with my senses, right? I cannot smell what is going to happen 1 hour later, correct? Only the direct perception, that is called pratyaksha. And another one is called anuman. Anuman means inference, using logical, deductive conclusions to find out. Example, when you see these historians, right, when they try to understand what happened in history, they were not present there to directly experience what happened, right? But they gain their knowledge from reading the letters, the correspondence. They see what this king is writing, what that king is writing. They try to piece the puzzle. So this is called inference, anuman. So you're widening your scope of gaining knowledge. So this is how much you can go. Another example of anuman is like, now let's say we see smoke, correct? When you see smoke, you can induce that there is fire, right? Like let's say we see a mountain, we see smoke is coming. Automatically we will think that there is volcano, there is fire. But I did not see the fire, right? Did I see the fire directly? No. But because of logical conclusion, because I have experienced, when I see fire, there is smoke, correct? So even anuman is limited. You know why? Because if I have no experience of fire, when I see the smoke, there is no use. I need to have experience of fire to have experience of smoke, right? So with these two limited knowledge gaining instruments, how we can understand who am I? Correct? We are going to schools. We're going to the school. We are learning so many things. But is there any course or faculty which teaches you who you are? No, because everything is science is based on pratyaksha and anuman only. It is not. You cannot go beyond that. So you live your life based on the opinions of others who have also pratyaksha praman. They have experienced life in this way, and they are telling you also live your life this way. You see how the cycle repeats? Because my parents have lived their life this way: go to work, get a job, get married, have a child. You also do the same thing. Because this is our experience is limited to this pratyaksha and anuman. So if you want to widen the scope of your knowledge, then you need shabda praman. Shabda Brahman means Shastra. This is Shabda Brahman. Krishna is speaking. Shabda Brahma, Parabrahma. The Parabrahma is speaking. So when Shabda Brahma means it is Vedas, knowledge given by the Supreme Lord. That knowledge, if you can understand, then you see the first chapter itself, Arjuna is given the knowledge of who am I, which is not taught anywhere, even in Harvard, even the greatest universities. Krishna's first lesson is who are you? Correct? So this is the power of Shabda Brahman. And with knowledge of Shabda Brahman, then our perception of life will increase. Our scope of knowledge will increase. Now we will not lament. I was talking about fear and lamentation. Why we are fearing and lamenting? Because now I think I'm the body. I think if I lose these things which are attached to my body, I get fear. But now when I hear Shastra, which is Shabda Brahman, it gives me knowledge of who am I now. I'm not the body, I'm the soul. Right? If I'm the soul, then all these things doesn't matter now. It doesn't belong to me. Everything belongs to the Supreme Lord. I'm only coming as a tenant, and I'm coming as a tenant and I'm leaving. Right? What happens to us now is we are going to a place, we think that we are the owner of the house. Imagine you got a hotel stay of 5 days, and then you start to renovate the hotel and put in decoration. After, they'll kick you out. Then you'll get angry. I spent so much money renovating, why you kick me out? Because you don't have the knowledge that the hotel is not your home. Right? So Shabda Brahman, Shastra, Gita, Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, the Vedas, Upanishad, these are all meant to help us understand who am I, what am I meant to do. Understand? So this is what we should do as a human being. Because as a human being, it is not just enough to learn about what I can experience with my mind and my senses. Right? Everything human being does is exploitation. Yeah? If you see for example, in recent years, there was a very big interest in, of course, the moon and Mars thing is going on. Fine. There's a lot of interest in Antarctica. Why? So many countries are going there, trying to put their flag there. Actually, they're not interested in Antarctica. They just want to have expansion of their geopolitics. They just want to put my flag there. See, my flag is here. It's a show of power because I'm attached to this country. So I want my country flag to be, all over the world. So even this moon mission is very hardly about science. It's all about I'm better than you. See my scientific capabilities. Right? So you see how everything is limited because of small amount of Pratyaksha Praman. But you have Shabda Brahman, you have knowledge of this spiritual life, you won't be interested in this. So when they say, India never went to war, every other countries are fighting. Why India never went to conquer anyone and fight wars? Why? Because India was a place of rishis. It was a place of self-realized soul who are interested in the life after death. They're not interested in this temporary life and accumulating all this Arctic and whatever. Because they know when whatever I accumulated, I will be having to let it go at the time of death, right? So this is the point. We need the knowledge of Shabda Brahman. And who is the one who gives Shabda Brahman? Shabde parecha nishnantam brahmani upasamasrayam. That is the Guru. Guru has access to this Shabda Brahman Shastra. He Om Agyana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Unmili Chamyena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. We are chanting the Mangalacharan. Of course, Prabhupada wrote there, Torchlight of Knowledge. Another name, Agyana, Om Agyana Timirandasya. Right? My eyes are covered by ignorance. Right? So, Jnana Anjana, with the knowledge, the medicine, ointment. Shalaka means in Ayurvedic text, Shalaka is like a pin, like a stick. You take this Ayurvedic medicine and you apply to the eyes, then the eyes can see. So the Guru applies the ointment of knowledge, jnana. What knowledge? Knowledge of Shastra. With the Shastra, he opens your eyes to see who you are, to see what is the purpose of my life. If you start seeing in this way, you start seeing in this vision, then your life is successful. Because whatever difficulties you will come, whatever you lose, you will understand, so what? I'm not this. Why should I be worried? Right? Like for me, practical example. right? I'm short, right? I'm just 5'3". All my life, of course, Singapore is not as bad as India, but you get bullied, right? You short guy, a small size, whatever. But when I understood Shastra, scriptures, immediately I'm not even worried what people call me short or fat or thin or tall. I'm not the body. Why should I be worried? You see the immediate self, every time they tell us, they're telling the children, no, have self confidence, my dear son. How your self confidence going to come if you do not know who you are, right? So just by learning first, second chapter of Bhagavad Gita, when I hear people say I'm short, I say, so what? Why have to be depressed? Whereas if somebody didn't hear and they are short, they will go and curse their parents. Because of you, I'm short. Yeah, correct. You see how this knowledge is so important that it makes us detached from these bodily experiences of who am I and all the fears that are involved in losing those things. That is what Krishna is doing for Arjuna. Krishna is giving the greatest knowledge to Arjuna. And you see the Arjuna in the beginning of Gita and the end of Gita, huge transformation. You know, Arjuna in the Gita, he was lamenting at first, right? Karpanya dosho pahata svabhava prichami tam dharma samudateta. I'm lost, my dear Krishna, I'm lost. You know, please tell me what I should do. Shishyashteham shadimam tam prapanam. Arjuna say, I surrender unto you. I accept you as my guru. Please guide me. This is the intelligence of Arjuna. When we go through all these difficulties in life, it is actually an indication that we should take shelter of the guru. We should take shelter of scriptures, Shastra. Then we can get a different perspective of life. We can get a higher vision of life. Not just the current vision of, I'm always lamenting. Oh, why did I lose this? There's two things happen. Hankering, lamentation. I'm hankering for something I don't have. I'm lamenting for what I have lost. All our life we are living like that. And we have no gratitude for what we have gotten. Right? How many of us are coming to Krishna and praying with gratitude? Tell me. How many of us come here? My dear Krishna, thank you so much for giving me this human life, for giving me the chance to chant your holy name, for giving me the chance to recite the Gita, to associate with the devotees, to do seva. Most of us are here, including myself. My dear Krishna, I don't have this, please give me this. Right? So even that hankering and lamentation related to the body, we are asking the Lord now and asking him, please, why you're not giving my Lord? What is this? Why you're not satisfying my desires? Right? But if you know this knowledge, automatically gratitude comes. You know Dhruva Maharaj, right? Dhruva Maharaj, 5 years old boy, he was insulted by his stepmother. So Dhruva Maharaj is the son of Uttanapad. Uttanapad's father is Swayambhuva Manu. Swayambhuva Manu's father is Brahma. Right? So Uttanapad has two wives, Suniti, Suruchi. So Dhruva was the son of Suniti, and his brother Uttama is the son of Suruchi. So one day the father was sitting on the throne, the son was sitting on the lap, Uttama. So Dhruva came, he wanted to sit on the other lap. Father did not allow because the father was attached to the other wife and he knows the other wife is going to get angry. Right? So immediately she saw the boy coming, 5 years old boy, she so cruelly told him, you don't dare to sit on your father's leg. If you want to sit on his leg, you better die and you're born in my womb and you become my son, then you can sit. You have no rights. So that boy was so hurt hearing his mother's word, he walked away with so much of anger. He is a Kshatriya, right? So much of anger he was there. And then he went to his mother, Suniti, and he told her this happened, what I should do. And the mother was she's a devotee. So mother told only one thing. He said, Dhruva, whatever she told is true. If you're my son, you cannot be the king. You should be his son, her son. But let me give you a solution. You go to the forest and you find out Vishnu. You search out for Vishnu. And then he went to the forest and he meditated for 6 months. Finally, he had darshan of Vishnu. And Vishnu gave him, you see the North Star? We call it, the North Star is called the Dhruva planet. Vishnu gave him the planet which is higher than even his father's kingdom because he had the desire. Of course, when he met Vishnu, his desire got purified. He approached Vishnu for material benediction, but here now he has no more interest in material benediction. He said, I'm satisfied, my Lord. I don't want anything else but you. But Vishnu said, no, no problem. I will still fulfill your desire. You will get a kingdom greater than your grandfather also, Brahma. So that Durva, at the time of, he ruled this world for 36,000 years. This is Satyayuga, no? The 36,000 years he was ruling. At the time of death, he was going back to Vaikuntha now. The Vaikuntha plains came. He stepped on the head of death. When death comes to us, we are feeling afraid, right? But for Dhruva, he stepped on the head of death, completely fearless, because he is a great devotee of Lord Krishna, Vishnu. He climbed onto the plane, he was glowing. He was going to Vaikuntha. You know what he thought to himself? He thought to himself, my mother, how can I leave my mother behind? It's because of her that I am sitting in this plane now. What the mother did? Just one word, go to Vishnu. And that gratitude for 36,000 years he never forgot. That is a pure devotee. Right? And here Krishna is giving so much to us, but we always go towards him and tell him, I'm lacking this, Krishna, why you're not giving this? We forget of all the things he has given to us. Correct? You know why? Because we lack the hearing of the Uttama Shloka Vartaya, the glorious activities of Krishna, the glorious mercy of Krishna. If the more you hear about him, the more you hear about his Nama, Rupa, Guna, Leela, the appreciation grows in the heart, the love grows for him, the gratitude also grows. Then you forget, then you're not interested, not afraid of death also. Like how Dhruva is not afraid. Arjuna was afraid, right? You don't want to fight the war. Dhruva was not afraid. And like I said, the point, the gratitude was so much. Just for one word, his mother told him, he said, he thought of his mother. So what happened? He thought of his mother, and the Vishnu Dutas who were bringing him, the servants of Vishnu were bringing him to Vaikuntha, immediately brought his mother also. So if one person becomes a devotee in the family, you will save your entire generation. Just by you chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama. Just one utterance. Just be a devotee. You will actually do the greatest favor to your family. And whatever fear they may have, it will also be gone. Because they'll be in fear. Let me just, before coming to the point of the class, let me just tell one thing. Everything that we have done in our life, right? The most important thing happens at the time of death. The last thing that you think about at the time of death, right? So if you analyze this carefully, what is the only thing that can help you at death? Tell me. What is the only thing? Your money is not going to help you. The doctor cannot extend your life. Medicine is not going to help you. None of your material assets going to help you. What is the only thing can help you? What? Yeah. So what is that? Yes. So what is good? We have to define that also. So good deed means when you do anything towards whatever is recommended in the scriptures, that is dharma. Hi adharmasya viparyaya vedo narayana saksha. Whatever is recommended in the scriptures, if you follow that, that is good deeds. So now the thing is, to make it simple, the most important thing that can help you at the time of death is the holy name of Krishna. And when the time of death comes, your whole body is covered with mucus, phlegms. You may be in coma. You cannot even utter the name of Krishna. You cannot even remember Krishna. Then who you need? You need the devotees. If we don't have good relationship with the devotees, at the time of death, who is going to chant for us? Right? When we are lying there, somebody has to come and sing for us, Hare Krishna, right? If that person has to come there, then you also have to be involved in this Krishna consciousness with your heart and soul. Then Krishna will send his devotees to come and chant for you. And when you hear the name of Krishna at the time of death, that's it. No more death, no more birth. All karmas gone completely. Right? So this is how we come out of the fearful situation. Right? So now we come back to the point that I wanted to cover in this class, which is about soul. So we saw today's verse. Krishna says there is no death. One who takes birth has to die. So we understood to a certain extent that the soul, we don't die. Even though we are trapped in this cycle. So somebody may still question you. Now they'll ask you, can you tell me, why do you say that I don't have death? Why do you say that I'm a soul? How do you answer them? Anybody has answer for that? Are you going to say like, I mean, of course you're going to say that Krishna said so. You can give an answer like that. But we also need to have some level of pratyaksha praman even in the Shabda Brahman. If you go to Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Rajavidya Rajagujam Pavitram Idam Uttamam Pratyaksha Bhagamam Dharmyam Susukham Kartam Abhyayam. So you see the word there, Pratyaksha is mentioned here. What does it mean? Direct experience. So bhakti cannot be just book knowledge. It cannot be just that I read the book, everything is in the book, that's it. So this knowledge is the king of education, the most secret of all secrets. It is the purest of knowledge because it gives direct perception of the self by realization. The thing is, if you follow this process given in the Shastra, you will get direct understanding, perception. You will understand clearly that I am not the body, I am the soul. You will get firm conviction that Krishna is there. At the time of death, if I remember him, I will go back. Right? This direct experience is there for anyone who takes it seriously, to study the books, to chant properly, to start. If you start chanting, engaging in the seva, reading, the realization comes. So now let me give you step-by-step answers. If somebody asks you, how do you know that you are a soul? How you know that you are deathless, you live forever? What is? So we can use pratyaksha to explain as much as the logic can go. Beyond that, we have to take shelter of Krishna's words, because there's, like I said, there's a limit, right? So number one, the first point is, how do we know that I am not the body? Right? Simple. With simple English, we can understand this. If I say that I am the body, so how do we call this body? Everybody has a name, right? My name is Subala dāsa. His name is Vishwambar Prabhu, Ravi Prabhu. So the name is given to this body, right? So first question, is the name, are we the name? Why not? Why we are not the name? We are not the name because we are separate from the name. Example, if I invited you to a wedding ceremony, I send you a wedding card with your name. If you don't come, your name cannot come, right? The name is separate from me. But of course, in the case of Krishna and his nama, non-different. That's why when we chant Hare Krishna, why we feel happy? Because Krishna is dancing in your tongue now, right? The name of Krishna and Krishna is non-different. That is spiritual, but we are material. So number one, we are not the name. Number two, example, let's say when somebody passes away, right? For example, recently we had a very gruesome attack. We saw the picture of the lady, the Mataji, who was sitting beside her husband, right, in Kashmir. He was shot, right? The soldier, lieutenant, the Navy. So before that, they used to call him by his name, right? After the death, what happens? Everything related to him becomes, carry the body. Please take the body. Put the body in the coffin. Burn the body. What happened to the name now? That means you can understand that person within is no more. There is someone else, right? For example, another example. Let's say, somebody elderly, many of us have experienced also. We lost our grandparents or some relatives. When we are bringing, let's say something happens to them, we are bringing them to the hospital. We tell everyone, I'm bringing so and so person to the hospital. Let's say he goes to the hospital, he passes away, right? After that, we don't say, I'm bringing Mr. so and so back to the home. I said, I'm bringing the body back to the funeral. And while the person is alive, right? If I hit the person, if I pinch the person, if I stab the person, I'll go to jail. No? I'll be punished, right? If the person is alive. After the person dies, I am putting fire for his body, burning the body. How come nobody arrested me? Right? Because we know the person is no more. Right? So from this understanding, we can understand. Now, next point. Throughout our life, we have how many bodies? How many bodies have changed? You know, we had a child, infant body. We had a, like a 10 years old body. We had a youthful body. Then we had the body in your 40s where you start to, all the problems start happening. And then you have a body at your old age. 5 bodies we have changed. If I'm a different person every time I change the body, is it such thing like that? Do I now? I used to have a style body, no? I used to look very cute when I was young. I don't even look like that now. you know, I used. I thought that I thought that guy is dead. Somebody just put me here like that. So we have changed bodies, but how come we understand that I'm the same person? The I never changed, right? And my mother saw my body change, right? Did my mother says, okay, now today you're 10 years old, I will call you different name now. You're a different person. Does that happen? The mother, if she see the son, let's say the son is 50 years old, she will still have the same motherly love for the son, even if he's an old man. Because the mother loves the soul inside the body, which the body changed, the soul didn't change. Right? So this is another logical answer. Another thing, when we address the body parts, our body, right? Jai Shri Shri Radha Madan. When I'm addressing the body, if I am the body, I should say this is I nose, I ears, I tongue, I forehead. No, we don't say that. We say my nose, my eyes, my. When we say this is mine, that means it belongs to me, but it's not me. Again with English language. So then I'm not. So I'm not the body parts also. Am I the mind? You still say my mind, right? You don't say I mind. So that's another thing. And even if you see relationships, right? Now, when you're born, you are a child. As you grow up, your father and mother may have another child. Now you suddenly have a brother. Before that, you're not a brother. Now you're a brother. After that, you grow older, right? And then you get married. Now you become a husband. After some time, suddenly, it's not suddenly, it's all going step by step. So, so, so what happens? Yeah, I mean, it doesn't happen suddenly like the Big Bang. No, it's not so random. Everything is coming by karma only. So you were once a brother, you became a father, you became a husband, then you became a father. One day your daughter gets married, you became a father-in-law. And after that, now you're a father-in-law. Then you got a grandchild, you become a grandfather. How many relationships are there? 5 relationships, right? So all these on the left, right? Brother, father, father-in-law, grandfather, all are changing. But the person here is I. That person never changed, right? Even though the relationship changes, that I didn't change. So again, we can understand. We are not the body. We are something else. And one more point, when we are sleeping also, another point. When we go to sleep in the night, when we wake up, by right, when we are sleeping, you should not have any idea what happened, right? You wake up and you say, I had a very nice rest, nice sleep. How come you can understand you had a nice sleep? That means you are witnessing, your soul never sleeps. You are witnessing that, okay, this person is sleeping, this body is sleeping, the mind, intelligence, ego is sleeping, but the I didn't sleep. Just like when you off your phone. Now, let's say the time is 8:35, right? When you off your phone, when you switch it on again, let's say 2 hours later, it is 10:35. The phone is not stuck at 8:35. The phone time becomes 10:35, right? Similarly, the phone, even though it's off, it's not sleeping. Similarly, even though the body sleeps, the soul doesn't sleep. You understand? So with all these logical points, you can understand we are beyond this body. And after knowing this, then what? If I'm not this body, then what I am? What am I supposed to do? So if you see this sloka, Krishna says, what is that? Jivera Swarupa Hoy? Madhya. So here is a verse by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
108, 109.
Why is it not coming?
This is 109 also. Right. It's 2108-109.
So you see how many times Prabhupada has mentioned this? So many times. Wow, it's going on.
No, I think
Huh?
you can click now.
It's all audio. No?
Uh,
जीवेरे स्वरूपहोय कृष्ण रे नित्यदास कृष्णे रे तथा शक्ति भेदा भेद प्रकाश सूर्यंश किरणयैचे अग्निर्ज्वल छाय सविज्ञ कृष्ण रे तीन प्रकार शक्तिहाय. It is the living entity's constitutional position to be an eternal servant of Krishna because he is a marginal energy of Krishna and a manifestation simultaneously one with and different from the Lord. Like the molecular particle of sunshine or the fire, Krishna is three varieties of energy. So we are actually meant for this life, a life of eternal bliss because Krishna's qualities are Sat Chit Ananda. He's full of knowledge, he is full of bliss, and he's eternal. And because we are part and parcel of him, we also are Sat Chit Ananda. But right now we are in a position of opposite. We are in an asat position. We are in avidya, and we are nirananda. We have no happiness. So we have to revive that connection with Krishna. This is the purpose of life, actually. This is the real purpose of human life, to revive our lost relationship, our lost love for Krishna. Now we are loving. That's why this is the meaning of that Hare Krishna mantra. This Hare Krishna mantra is saying, Krishna, oh Krishna, I've forgotten you. I'm now trapped in this Maya, in this material world. I'm suffering. Please again engage me in your service. That is the Hare Krishna mantra. So when we keep chanting this mantra, Krishna cleanses the heart. To help us come back to his eternal lotus feet. So before I end the class, I will tell a story from the Vishnu Puran. This is a story of Ribu and Nidhaga. Ribu and Nidhaga. Ribu is the son of Brahma, and Nidhaga is the son of Pulastya Rishi. Right? So Guru Sishya relationship. Ribu is the Guru, Nidhaga is the Sishya. So what happens? The Guru educates his disciples so much about you're not the body, you're the soul, you're meant to serve Vishnu, you're part and parcel of Vishnu, take shelter of him, become his devotee. The Guru gave him so many lessons throughout his lives. So eventually the Guru left. Nidhaga and went. So then this person was living his life with his family. Of course, those days, we're talking about those days where people lived for thousands of years, which is Satya Yuga, Satya, Treta Yuga. So one day what happened? After a long time, the Guru came back to see whether his disciple remember the message, the lesson that he has taught him. So he comes back to the house. The disciple cannot recognize him now because he is so many hundreds of years has passed. He has so much of beard. So Guru comes inside the house and he says, I'm feeling hungry. Can you prepare for me something? So usually sadhus, when they come to the house, of course we don't have this culture in India, but we give dan to the sadhu, give them some water, let them sit down. If we have some prasadam, we offer to the sadhu. So then here the sadhu is very funny because he gave a long list of menu now. He said, I want this, these all various kinds of sweets, dosa and these so many things. I don't know what kind of food was there in those times, but many big sweet items, very delicious, very opulent items. Usually a sadhu will not eat like that, no. Usually sadhu comes, they'll give some milk like that. So then the person was, okay, you asking so much, maybe you're so hungry. He told his wife, can you prepare? So the wife said, yes, I'll prepare. She prepared such a huge menu of dishes. Nicely he ate. After eating, nice digestion happened. He said, I'm feeling tired. I need to rest. Can you give me some place to rest? So Nidaga said, okay, fine. He gave some mat nicely. He slept. After sleeping for some time, the guru woke up. This person went there. Nidaga went and spoke to Ribu and told, my dear Sadhu, how are you feeling? Are you satisfied with the food? Did you sleep nicely? Well rested? The sadhu said, what do you mean? He said, what do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean? I did not eat anything. What are you talking about? Where did I rest? Where did I eat? He said, look at the menu. How much, so many food you eat now in front of me, and you're telling me you didn't eat. What nonsense you're talking? Of course, he didn't say nonsense, but what is this? Nicely you slept. He said, I didn't eat anything. What are you talking? Huh? And you slept nicely. I didn't sleep. I don't sleep. Then suddenly he recognized, this is my guru. He said, oh, he's teaching me a lesson. Because the soul doesn't eat, he doesn't need to eat, he doesn't need to sleep also. The soul, this guru came back to remind him. He said, you remember me? You have forgotten this lesson? You have forgotten that you're you're eternal servant of Krishna? What you're doing? So busy with your life? Come back to the point again. So this is the thing. The guru also is very important to come and test you. Not only he gives you, but he has to continuously, he tests you. Right? So the disciple say, okay, I will not forget. I will not forget, sorry. After that, another many 100 years passed. So again the guru came to see whether the disciple remember whatever he told. So this time, there was a huge procession going on. King is coming. King is coming, elephants, so many thousands of elephants, horses, camels, all coming. And thousands, hundreds and thousands of people walking. So this Nidaga was standing across the road. He wanted to cross the road. He cannot cross. Right? Then the guru came and he said, old man again, much older now. He said, why you're standing here? He said, I'm standing here because there's so many people walking. I cannot cross the road. How will I cross? He said, where are the people? He said, can't you see? Are you blind? So many of them walking. He said, I can't see. He said, can't you see the elephants? Look at that. So many elephants, so many camels, so many horses. What do you mean you can't see? He said, what is elephant? He said, you don't know elephant? He said, can't you see the elephant there? The king is sitting in the elephant, sitting on top of elephant. He said, what is on top? What is up? What is down? He was asking this kind of crazy questions. And this disciple got so angry. He pushed the guru down. He started sitting on his shoulder. He said, this is up, this is down. You understand? You don't know what is up and down. Then the guru said, do you remember me? Who is up, who is down? Tell me. Nobody is up, nobody is down. We are all Atma, Jivatma. We are part and parcel of Krishna. Have you forgotten? So suddenly he remembered, oh my God, I forgot again. So this time he came down and then he told the guru, I will not forget this lesson. Now I'll understand. What you're trying to say is, even in the elephant, yes, elephant is there, but within the elephant, there is a soul. There's a Jivatma. Within the king also, there's a Jivatma. Within the camel also, there's a Jivatma. That is what the guru is trying to say. So this is called Pandita Samadharshana. Vidya Vinaya Sampanne Brahmane Gavayashtani Suni Chaiva Swapakecha Pandita Samadarshana. The humble sage, by virtue of true knowledge, see with equal vision a learned, gentle Brahmana, a cow, an elephant, a dog eater, an outcast. So it's a real rishi, self-realized soul sees everyone same. So equality can come only in the spiritual platform. Now we are trying to get equality in the material platform. It's not going to happen. It's all going to be, we're going to be fighting more and more. But if you understand, I am Krishna's, I'm part and parcel of Krishna, you are part and parcel of Krishna, then we are not going to hurt each other anymore. The universal brotherhood comes then. They say this word, right? Universal brotherhood. How you will have universal brotherhood without knowing who is the common father? Right? So this is the thing. If you know this Shabda Brahman, this Shastra, this knowledge, then your vision changes. You become self-realized. You become a devotee of Krishna, you will have a blissful life, which everybody is searching for the peace and happiness, right? So simple formula to just understand whatever all these things, you have to start chanting the Hare Krishna mantra. If you have not taken the beats, please take the beats. Please start chanting. The more you're chanting with attention, and then you read the books, you will get more anchored in your identity of who you are. And if you know who you are, when the identity is clear, any difficulties in life will not be shaking you, whatever happens. Because you know who you are, where you're going to go next. Some people say life is a journey, but they do not know where the destination is. If you do not know the destination, you're going to live a very stressful life. But for devotees, you're not stressed, because no matter how difficult life can get, it's temporary. One day I'm happy, one day I'll be sad. So what? I know if I stick to this path, my destination, I will go back to Krishna one day. Right? And that can only happen through the guidance of the spiritual master. Okay? So this is the sum and substance of today's class. I think I'd like to conclude here. Anyone has any question? Huh? So nobody has any question, huh? Everybody's realized that you're soul now. Not like the bird, right? हम त्वमिति अप्राप्त धीर अज्ञानात् पुरुषस्य हि स्वप्निवा भाति अतज्ञानात् याया बन्ध विपर्ययो. Misidentification of oneself and others as I and you on the basis of bodily concept of life is a product of ignorance. This bodily concept is the cause of repeated birth and death, and it makes us go on continuously in material existence. So until this, very nice verse quoted by Vishwambar Prabhu. Until this misidentification goes on, then this karma, this life and death, taking birth again and again, is going to happen. Right? That's why the chanting is so important, because when you chant, of course, many of us are chanting wrongly also. We are chanting and watching football. Right? Your chanting time has to be the time where you are telling yourself, I am a part and parcel of Krishna. This time is a priority time between me and Krishna. So my identity of a soul is fixed at the time I'm chanting. And of course, later I go and do my remaining life duties and whatever. But because I chanted properly, I will not forget throughout the day also. That's what Krishna is telling to Arjuna. You do your duty, but always remember me, Arjuna, and you fight. And Arjuna never forgot Krishna. Krishna is just in front of him when he's fighting. Right? So if you keep chanting nicely, keep reading, hearing, associating, doing seva, we will get more fixed up in our identity as the Jivatma. And in the Jivatma position, again, blissful life. Satchidananda. Okay, so yes, Prabhu.
What about even the iPhone? When I upgrade, it never changes. Everything is the same. So even iPhone is changing bodies. What about us? Even iPhone is changing bodies.
Yeah. Okay. And iPhone is very special also, because now when I say this is my nose, right? I don't say I nose, but my phone I say iPhone. So you see how they are making the illusion to become attached to the phone. If any of us lost our phone for more than 1 hour, we'll be sweating, because now that phone has become so close identity to me, inseparable part of me. You see, integral part of me. How? You understand? So when you're chanting time, put the phone away, chant with full concentration. Only you and the holy name. And of course, you play Prabhupada's voice also when he's chanting. And then you automatically remembrance comes of the holy name. Remembrance comes, I am not this body, I am not this body. I am meant to serve Krishna. Okay. So we'll stop here. We'll have last arati. Before that, some announcements. We have a very auspicious festival, the appearance day of Lord Narasimha on the 11th of May. Another 2 weeks. So very auspicious festival. Please come and participate, because Lord Narasimha is so important for our spiritual life. He is the greatest protector. We take shelter of him to protect us from all the kama, krodha, lobha, mada, matsarya, lust, envy, greed. To protect us from these sinful activities. So it's our appearance day. We have a drama as well. We are making devotees are practicing for very nice Narasimha Dev drama. Abhishek will be there. So 11th May, come participate. Abhishek, chant the holy name. Any festivals, even if you come, do some seva. So much of punya you accumulate, right? Because it's a Sunday, so please come. What we need to do is our temporary life, as much as possible, accumulate as much as bhakti punyas as possible. Get as much as possible. So next life, of course, we don't want to come back next life, but even if we come back, we have accumulated this much. You get what I mean? Okay. So, and also Radha Yatra is very big festival coming June 29. We need your support physically, also monetarily, because we are building new chariots this year. So $100,000 extra we need to spend. So it's a lifetime service, because the chariots that you build will last you for 30 years. So any contribution you can do, your name will be remembered by the Lord, because the chariot is going to carry the Lord for the next 30 years. Okay, so we'll end here. We'll have last Arati. Jai Grantaraj Srimad. Jai Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavad Gita.